Yes, well, I became intrigued with the idea of sort of a Manas University Film Festival when I saw the poster that the communications faculty had put up in the hallway, and I took it upon myself to purchase some of the films when on trips to Germany and the US. That is, not the pirated versions that are available here, but
even the original ones.
But the original ones with subtitles. Most of them have subtitles, and I recall that Hidayat Tunjai had engaged in a project, that you had engaged in a project on using film as a means of improving knowledge, English knowledge through film. So we collaborated together.
Yeah.
Collaborated together. The first two films were Casablanca was the first film, a very famous film.
It is very famous, yeah. Still famous.
Won many Academy Awards.
Yeah.
And then we showed Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump, yeah.
That was especially good because his speech is very slow, and it was easy to understand.
Easy to understand for the non-native speakers.
Exactly, but it was in dialect.
Yeah.
Southern dialect.
Southern dialect.
Yeah. But there should be, students should be exposed to different dialects because that's part of the film. That's part of the entertainment, entertainment aspect of the film. And so we showed those two films, first Casablanca, then Forrest Gump. And then decided to show Titanic. But due to its length, we cut it into half, two parts. Showed
it's a very long movie.
Exactly.
Or at least 3 hours, right?
Yes. Showing the first part.
Mr. Kals, why did you think that the students will be it's going to be very beneficial for students to pick up the original language?
Yes,
the authentic language?
Right, to follow along with the speech using the subtitles. So following the subtitles with the spoken language. I thought this would be beneficial. But coupled with your exercises, which you produced, maybe a few words about your book, that you wrote a book on this subject.
Well, you have to tell about the book, not me.
Yes, okay. Right.
But first of all, in 2005, we decided as a project, to prepare such activities to show the featured movies to our students at the university where I worked for a long time. And we piloted some of the studies in the classroom and movie watching sessions. Yes. And then I decided to prepare a book which named New Dream. And we have to find out that the movie watching sessions, how they will help our students to improve their English.
Yes.
Because if we compare in terms of ELT, English language teaching, in terms of ELT here, if we consider that our students are not exposed to the mostly native speakers in their environment, in the classroom, it is not very easy for them to understand or to catch the certain expressions and certain idiomatic expressions or certain conversations and words and idioms.
Yes.
And that's why we just try to make them familiar with the authentic language while watching the movies.
By placing it in the context of the movie.
Yeah, it is in the context.
In the context of the movie.
And maybe we can discuss later on about the features and the technical parts of how and when, why we choose these kind of movies or these kind of sessions in the ELT department. And by the way, you work on that very hard, and you prepare some
Yes, I prepared
exercises.
some vocabulary lists of idioms, other expressions used in the film. And some of the films are noted for some of the expressions that were used. For example, Casablanca, where he says, "Here's looking at you, kid," you know.
I think they are not archaic yet.
No. You still hear them. You still hear
yeah.
And these
Yeah.
expressions come from the actual movies.
Yeah.
Here's looking at you, kid. Play it again, Sam.
Yeah.
And everyone knows when they hear these expressions
And
that they came from
do you
these
think
movies.
they became idiomatic expression after the movie or before the movie?
After.
After the movie.
Yes.
It's
And they're
interesting.
associated with certain actors like Humphrey Bogart and DiCaprio, you know, so they associate the actor with
Yeah.
with the expression.
They might.
Ingrid Bergman, you know.
Yeah, and
Yep.
it's very interesting. They become very idiomatic after the movie.
Yes.
So
yes.
they created new expression, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes. And they become part of the language and
Yeah.
in the dialect, oftentimes in the dialect of the context.
And what else can you tell us here? How it's going to be useful for our students in this occasion
Yes.
to get them into the movie watching sessions.
You know,
It is a long time, you know.
yes. Well, I thought originally it's very good for them to actually hear the language in context, in the movie context,
Yeah.
as a living language, to place a language within the context of the movie from this point of view, and to follow these words along with the subtitles, to follow the speech along
Maybe
with
it's
the
very
subtitles.
useful for them
Yes,
to watch the movie with subtitles, right?
yes, yes. That's why I selected the movies I selected, all have subtitles. Casablanca had subtitles, Forrest Gump.
Yeah, while we were just preparing this book, we had some problems, as you know. And in some cultures, in some places, and to a certain extent, choosing the movie is going to be a problem
Yes, yes.
for the students. If it keeps, it covers a lot of romance. Some of our students reject this. If it covers a lot of science fiction, some of the students are rejecting as well.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, and after preparing this book, I wrote an article using feature movies at the tertiary level at the universities to teach them the authentic language. And we found out some conclusions, of course. And choosing movie, the appropriate movie, is becoming more and more important.
Yes, yes.
And that's why I'm just talking with you, and we have to be very careful about choosing the movies.
Yeah, movies that are devoid of violence.
Not
Lot
many.
of-
Many violence in it.
Right.
I mean,
movies that are
not too much romance, and some of psychological movies are not very useful
yes,
because there are a lot of scenes without any dialogue. You just watch the movie and the scenery, but nothing comes out.
but I noticed in your book that you have included the Green Mile,
Yeah,
which had some perhaps some scenes which were not appropriate for students.
yeah, it's not appropriate for them. Yeah, but it's and we.
Perhaps
depending-
from an educational point of view,
Yeah.
dialect point of view,
Sure.
they're
And-
more
and-
appropriate, but for viewing by students, perhaps it's not.
We discussed that before.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, with the students. And we asked students many questions about how they can just, what they would like to watch. And some say classical movies, some say just the contemporary movies and produced recently.
Yes.
And some say mostly as they like it.
Yes.
I mean,
Oftentimes associated with the music. of the
yeah,
movie,
it's
the
associated with the
songs.
music, yeah.
For example, Titanic has this beautiful song that's well known.
Yeah, it's well known, yeah.
Students sing the song. In fact, I
Still-
used it in
still
my
sing, right?
phonetics class. We play the song, and I get the students to sing it.
Oh,
Because I
really?
think singing is one way to learn language.
Of course.
Actually, music is language, language is music. If they can sing a text, they can speak it.
Yeah, it was, and the only thing here again, another thing I can just emphasize, and we have to invite our students to our movie theater and to follow the movies and this project.
Yes, yes.
And most of the students might think that coming into the movie theater and sit, relax, and watch TV or watch movie.
Pure entertainment purpose.
It is not theoretically. It is not our aim, right?
Right. Not to entertain, but to teach.
We can entertain, but we can teach.
Yes. Yes.
And we can teach them by entertaining them, right?
Yes, of course. Yes,
and that's why
exactly.
we have to just make it very clear for them to explain that we are expecting this, blah, blah, and that. And
But
so
how to increase attendance? Because last time we had only a few students. Time before last, we had quite a few. Yesterday, only a couple students came. So we have to motivate them to come.
We have to, yeah.
And that's probably we have to turn to the teachers, individual teachers, to invite their classes.
We have to talk to the department heads.
Yes.
And the teachers who do agree with us.
Exactly.
Just the benefit of watching, just giving the featured movies to our students. And as far as I know, and we tried that many times for the last 10 years in different universities, we had different feedbacks from our students. And some students find it very useful, some students find it very difficult, to a certain extent, of course, depending on the students' English level.
Yes, yes.
And but beforehand, if we give them the necessary vocabulary, and they can most probably make benefit of make use of the movies while they are watching. And the more, as you know, the more they understand, the better they think themselves motivated.
Yes, yes.
And here in this book, we divided into 3 parts, right? And first one is before watching movie.
The synopsis.
Yeah, before movie watching session, we give some information about the movie, synopsis and little summary maybe. And then while watching movie, and students have to be aware of catching the dialogues.
Yes, yes.
While they are watching the movie here, and then they put the names who said which quotation, said by whom.
Yeah.
See, and then the last part is after watching movie. Those are the activities based on the comprehension, the general comprehension, the total comprehension of the movies.
Yes.
And
to write an essay, right?
Yeah, and the last one is write an essay. Sometimes we ask questions, if you were the director, how would you end the movie?
Right.
That is the question. And if you were the director, how would you end, for example, Titanic?
Right. Not
this way.
So students have to be given these assignments beforehand so that they can prepare.
They have to, yeah.
This is considered homework. They should do the homework.
If you say homework, they will do that. we might say that it's going to be an activity before you watch the movie.
And your suggestion before that they be given some sort of certificate, maybe at the end of the whole the whole series.
At least we have to give them 10 or 10 movies. After 10 movies, and we can just prepare some certificates.
Right.
And we can say that they follow the movie watching session as part of extracurricular activities.
Yes, yes.
And then, they can, depending on this is a participation only, not just attendance, not just the other kind of certificate.
Yes.
And they might be very happy for that. At least because they hear and follow the movies for 10 movies. They come down here to the movie theater at least 10 weeks, maybe more than that. And at the end of each movie, as we talked earlier, we can have some movie discussion session.
Yes, yes.
And at least 15
Outside
or
of the
20
movie.
minutes.
Yes.
And it's going to be shot here, and they're going to shoot this session at the end of the movie. They will just this department, the television department will record this kind of discussion with the students.
They would be broadcast.
It should be broadcast, yeah.
Right. Can you ever see this working into some sort of course format? I mean, some English departments actually teach a course on film where the students are given credit. I know this would probably be a long process, but
it is a long process, yeah.
It would be.
Maybe we can suggest.
This would give the motivation.
We can suggest part of the extracurricular activity.
As a extracurricular activity.
Not just in the curriculum.
Where they're given
it
a
might
certificate.
Be a selective, yeah.
Certificate.
Yeah.
For their attendance.
We can only issue certificate.
Right.
It might not have any credit. But first of all, this is going to be voluntary. We have to invite our students. If they find out that it's going to be beneficial for them, it's going to be advantage for them, they just invite each other, and they'll come to the movie theater.
Yeah, but there should be perhaps some student involvement in the actual organizational aspect of the series. So
that's why we just give them certificate for attendance.
Yes.
If they attend at least 10 movies, no problem. They'll have the right. I mean, they'll deserve the certificate.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
And another thing, which we just work on this movie watching session and the authentic movies. As far as I know, it should be an integrated skills studies.
Yes.
It is not only listening. It is not only watching. I mean, it's not only receptive skills. We have to work on as well the performative skills. Let's say we have to work on how they have to speak about it.
Yes.
And they have not only the exercises here, but they have to speak about the movie endings and the plot and the theme and the main idea in the movie given to the audience as well.
Some of these movies have actually been worked into plays, Broadway plays.
Yeah.
And students could maybe work them into a play where they would act the parts in various capacities.
Well, it's going to take a long time.
Yes.
It is, and they have to act in English, right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah, and maybe some of them are very eager to watch the movies, and they like it. But we have to just motivate them.
Yes.
They watch the movie. While they are watching movie, they have to do the exercises.
Yes.
And the activities.
And before the movie.
We might ask, in any case, after the movie watching session, completely watch the movie, we might ask to write down an article, a short article or a short composition maybe. The subject is given previously.
Yes.
And then they can bring it next week to us. And it's going to be helpful for them because they're going directly into the movie and the theme and the plot.
Yes.
And they will also discuss the actors and actresses in the movie.
Yes.
If they should be there or not. And they can write it down. We can also ask them as an article. Let's say you are a critic, you're writing an article to a newspaper.
Right.
You make a critique about the movie which is recently watched, Titanic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the possibilities are very exciting, and we have to get the motivation. Students have to be motivated to do this, and the attendance and the time is perhaps of critical importance. I know some of them said they have meetings, they have classes at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but if we have it too late, then it runs into the evening because some of these films are long.
Yeah, they go.
So that we have to have a time where students have the fewer.
We can ask them maybe.
Classes.
I mean, 4 o'clock is very. It seems to be very appropriate for them.
Yes.
And if they have the class, they might not come. That's all right, no problem. But the other people, the other students might come.
Yes. It's also time when there's a lot of meetings.
The movie theater is only holding 80 people, not more than that. So we need 50 or 60 maybe.
Yes.
Up to 80.
Right. Yes.
But they have to be volunteer. if you push them here to the movie theater, it's gonna be a problem for them. And next time they won't come to watching the movie. They can think about that. We can watch the movie at home in front of television. But this is not movie watching session only, as we explained in front of them a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Many of the movies they come to, they've seen in Russian in the movie theaters. I mean, they saw Titanic.
Almost they all Russian.
Almost all of them are in Russian. So they're coming also because of the notoriety of these movies that we're showing in Russian. They've seen these movies in Russian.
But at least they're gonna. It's gonna be.
They've got to come with the understanding that it's going to benefit their English. You know,
this is gonna be their profession.
Yes.
That's why we invite them to come and watch the movie without any fee.
Yes.
Free on charge, right?
Right. Free of charge. Yes.
We invite everybody here. Which camera you have to talk to?
Yeah, one student asked me how much they have to pay. And that's it. And
maybe we have to invite them and we have to just sell tickets for them.
right. This is one of them.
Of course not. We're just kidding. And we invite all our students. Which camera? I don't know exactly. We have to invite them and to come to the movie watching session because we are two, Professor Carlson and me. We're trying to help them and to improve their English with the aid of feature movies, authentic movies.
Yes. And
sometimes
movies,
we won't be able to see and to get the authentic language out of, not in the classroom. Should be out of the classroom and in the native country.
Yes, has to be in the original format too.
Sure.
Not the pirated versions that are coming out.
No.
We can't use these. But I was intrigued with this list that the communications department had put on this poster. They were all standard movies that I had seen throughout the years. And that's why I thought might be nice to have a film festival here. And then coupled with your interest in using movies as a means of improving English, this would be put these two together is sort of the ideal situation.
Yeah, it's going to be a project. It is a project, and we're going to just follow the project. We're going to do whatever we can do, and for our students' benefit, and they will help us. We will help them.
Yes.
And if they like, they can watch the movie at home, but not in here. But we invite them here to watch the movie and to do some exercises to practice what they have learned, or to comprehend the movie and the language in the movie totally, right?
Yes. And many of the movies are based on real life events, like the sinking of the Titanic. This happened.
Yeah.
Many other movies are based on historical events, and students could look into the actual history.
They also learn about history.
The history, right.
Yeah.
It's a history lesson.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is a good talk, I believe. What would you like to say before we leave the studio to our students or about the project?
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to continuation of this project, and we will look into selecting very appropriate films, and it should be our aim to select the films, to motivate the students, to invite them, to talk to teachers, to speak to their students. So this is our aim to...
and we invite all our students and to our project. Mr. Carlson and me, we have been working on that for a long time. Our aim is not here to let them watch the movie. Our sole aim here at the end, to get our students into the film conversations, the theme, the plot, and to see themselves in the movie and to learn something different, which is authentic from the movies. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.